This session, we learn about the parts and functions of the excretory system. The summation of biochemical reactions in the living body is called the metabolism. There are two types of metabolism. These two types of activities take place in different parts of the cell. Catabolic reactions involve the breakdown of molecules that usually release energy. Anabolic reactions involve the synthesis of molecules and usually need energy. During metabolism, necessary as well as unnecessary substances are produced. So, we have to remove the unnecessary substances from the body. Otherwise, the unnecessary or waste substances are accumulated in the cells and they would poison the cells or slow down metabolism. The removal of excretory products produced during metabolism from the body is called excretion. The waste products that are produced during metabolic process are called as excretory materials. There are different organs of excretion in the body. Water, urea and salts are secreted by the sweat glands and removed by the skin. Carbon dioxide and water vapor are removed by the lungs. Urea and uric acid, which are the products of protein catabolism in the liver, are removed by the kidneys. We don't consider the fecal matter as an excretory product because it is an undigested solid part of food formed after the digestion process. It is not produced during metabolic reactions in the cells. Let's study the parts of the urinary system. It is the system with a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, a bladder and urethra. Human kidneys are about 12 centimeters long by 7 centimeters wide and are bean shaped. A thin tube called ureter comes out of the concave side of each kidney and extends downwards to the large bag called the bladder. The bladder leads to the body surface via a tube called urethra. The bladder end of urethra is held closed by means of a ring of muscle called sphincter, which controls the release of urine from the bladder. Renal artery branches off from the aorta and brings oxygenated blood to the kidneys. Renal vein takes away deoxygenated blood from the kidneys. Adrenal glands are found above each kidney. Bladder is a stretchable bag that expands in volume when it is filled with urine. Urine drains continuously out of the kidneys into the ureters where it is forced downwards into the bladder. When it is nearly full, the stretching stimulates sensory nerve endings in its walls so that nerve impulses are sent to the brain. The sphincter muscle around the urethra is voluntarily relaxed to let urine drain from the bladder through urethra and out of the body. This process is called urination. Let's study the structure of the kidney by looking at the longitudinal view of kidney. A kidney has a dark colored outer region called the cortex and a lighter inner region called the medulla. The medulla consists of several cone-shaped areas called the pyramids. The space where the ureter joins the kidney is called the pelvis. In humans, each kidney contains about 1 million kidney tubules called nephrons. They are the structural and functional unit of kidney. They are microscopic. The below diagram shows the structure of the nephron. Each nephron is about 3 centimeters in length and expanded into a round cup-shaped part called Bowman's capsule. Each Bowman's capsule encloses a ball of finely divided and intertwined blood capillaries known as a glomerulus. Bowman's capsule leads to a coiled tube called the proximal convoluted tubule. It continues with the descending loop of Henle and then ascending loop of Henle, which leads to the distal convoluted tubule that joins to the collecting duct, which passes through the medulla to open into the pelvis. The renal artery divides up into many arterioles and capillaries. Afferent arteriole leads to the glomerulus and comes out as efferent arteriole and continues as a network of capillaries which surrounds proximal and distal convoluted tubules and the loop of Henle. Finally, it joins with the renal vein. In the process of urine formation, there are 3 processes: ultrafiltration, selective reabsorption, and secretion. Ultrafiltration is the filtration of blood under pressure. The pressure is achieved in 2 ways. First, the blood enters the glomerulus already at a high pressure direct from the heart via aorta. Second, the pressure built up by the blood vessels. The diameter of efferent arteriole is smaller than the diameter of afferent arteriole. So, there is a pressure created in the glomerulus. The blood is filtered through 2 layers of living membrane, the capillary wall of glomerulus and the inner wall of Bowman's capsule. The blood is filtered by these membranes by the pressure created by the above ways and collected into the cavity of Bowman's capsule. Not all the blood is filtered by this process. The blood cells and the large protein molecules are left in the blood. The filtered fluid is called as glomerular filtrate. It enters the cavity of the Bowman's capsule and then drains into the proximal convoluted tubule. Glomerular filtrate is same as blood plasma. The constituents are water, glucose, amino acids, vitamins, drugs, various ions, hormones, and urea. It contains many useful substances other than urea. If all of these were excreted, the body would lose most of its water and soluble substances. This doesn't happen because 95% of the glomerular filtrate is reabsorbed. Reabsorption occurs when glomerular filtrate passes out of Bowman's capsule down the tubules towards collecting ducts. Most of the constituents of glomerular filtrate is absorbed into the blood capillaries which surrounds the coiled part of the tubule. This is called selective reabsorption. 90% of water, all glucose, amino acids, vitamins, salts, small amount of urea, uric acid and drugs are reabsorbed into the blood. Reabsorption takes place by using energy. The glomerular filtrate changes its composition, and when it reaches the collecting duct, a liquid called urine has been formed. The volume of glomerular filtrate formed in 1 minute in a healthy adult is about 120 cubic centimeters. The remaining glucose is released with the urine. In a healthy person, 100% glucose is reabsorbed by the blood, but in a diabetes patient, it is not totally reabsorbed. By this reabsorption process, the kidneys perform another function, that is osmoregulation, maintaining the ionic balance by absorbing useful salts and ions. The third process is secretion. Waste substances and other substances may be added to the tubules by secretion from the blood capillaries surrounding the tubules. For example, hydrogen ions, potassium ions, ammonium ions, creatinine, drugs, and vitamin B. When we look at the composition of urine in a healthy person, about 96% is water, 2% salts, 2% urea, trace amounts of uric acid and creatinine are found. Thank you.